In this video, we're going to look at how to take your Thanksgiving leftovers and reinvent them for a wonderful meal. Welcome everyone, Mark here from the Average Meat Channel. This is the third and last in our series of how to reuse those Thanksgiving leftovers. So far we've done a melt, we've done a wrap, we've even done a shepherd's pie. You don't think I was going to let you go without making some kind of a flatbread, did you? Let's get started. In the past videos, I encourage keeping that skin on the turkey because it had a lot of the flavorings. But this time around, we are going to remove that skin because I don't want anything in here that's perceived as being hard or chewy. So we're just going to not utilize very much of the skin at all this time around. However, we do want some really nice, big, delicious chunks. When I say big, I mean we're not going to finely ground this. We're probably going to make little cubes about 1/4 inch thick because this is going to be on a flatbread. There's a little bit of fat. We're going to push that off to the side. I'll reuse that for something else. And we want those to be in manageable pieces so they go well on the flatbread. Now I'll give you a hint of what's coming as I chop all of this up. And that is, since I'm taking away so much of the flavor that was on that skin, we're going to be adding a lot of spices to this. I think I'll take one more half of this and then we'll call it quits. I think we'll have enough. And so normally there are a lot of spices already in the meat from when it was cooked with the Thanksgiving dinner. But now we're really using all of the internal pieces, and there's still flavoring in there, but we'll be adding a little bit more. So we're going to start with the base of the turkey gravy. And again, this is one of my recipes, so I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but I suspect it's going to be pretty good. I don't want the gravy necessarily dripping off this, and as it heats up there's a good chance that'll happen. And by the way, this flatbread is really a naan bread. I couldn't find the flatbread that I really wanted to use at the grocery store, so this was kind of my second choice. Okay, next up we're going to spread the turkey bits evenly. So I think you can see why I wanted smaller cubes of turkey here. That's pretty good. I think we have the whole thing covered. Now the only thing that's going to be kind of strange about this is oftentimes when I do flatbread, I like to put a cheese down. And one of the main reasons I like the cheese is it kind of holds everything in place. And right now we don't have anything to hold that in place. So that's where we're going to have a little bit of a problem. Now we're going to put stuffing or dressing on, and I'm just going to drop this on with my fingers because I want to break it into really small bits. I want to make sure that it gets spread evenly. And you know how stuffing is. Stuffing is, it kind of wants to all bunch together. And I don't necessarily want that to happen, but I am going to press it down a little bit because I'm hoping that it will act like a little bit of a binder and keep some of the stuff in place. But I really don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen here. That's the fun of a recipe. I get to make the mistake, and you get to reap the rewards of not making the mistakes that I made. Oh man, does that look good. Okay. As I said, since I did take away a lot of the flavor with the skin, what we're going to do now is add some spices and seasonings. Now what I really wanted to use was sage, and I went to 2 stores. I couldn't find any sage today. So one thing I'm going to use is this Italian seasoning. It's got a whole bunch of seasonings in it. So we're going to use some of that. And this is a little unusual for turkey, I know. We're going to use a little bit of paprika. Not a lot, but just enough to give it a little bit of a flavor. And some rosemary. Again, we're not going to overdo it. I really wanted that sage, and I think that would have, I wouldn't have put the rosemary on, I think, if I would have used the sage. And a little bit of thyme. And that's about it. This is going to go in the oven at 350 degrees for about, give it about 10 minutes. We just want everything to set, everything to get hot. It's already all been cooked, so this is just about heating it up. You know, I like to use my air fryer, and I could have used the air fryer here, but I just chose to go the more traditional route. So let's put this into the oven. So as that's in the oven, there are a few things I'm a little concerned about. Number one, I'm concerned that the thing just isn't going to hold together. You know, everything's going to fall off. We'll see. The second thing is I haven't forgotten about the cranberry sauce. I'm going to try to drizzle that over the top. However, I don't have any tool to do that with, so I'm going to cut a hole in the corner of a plastic bag, and let's see how it works. There's our timer. Time to take it out. Well, it looks pretty good. That looks more than pretty good. That looks awesome. I hope it tastes as good as it looks. So now we're going to try to drizzle. This is what I was afraid was going to happen, especially since this is it's a whole cranberry sauce. There's chunks of cranberry getting caught in there. I think if this was a real creamy cranberry sauce, we might be better off. So it's not that bad, but it doesn't really look like a drizzle, does it? On the other hand, by getting those nice chunks of cranberry on there, it does add to the richness of the whole thing. So I can't say I'm dissatisfied with it. I think there's our thumbnail. What do you think? Maybe a little off center so we can put a title in here. But let's cut into it and see how it tastes. Going to use my trusty ulu. Well, so far I like how the crust stiffened up a little bit. Let's try to get a small piece off of here. Well, that holds together pretty well, doesn't it? I like it so far. Let's see how it tastes. Now, I won't kid you. I won't say it's good if it's not good. So here we go. That is really good. This is an entire Thanksgiving meal on a piece of flatbread. This one, I have to say, surprised me. This was a one that I thought was really taking the biggest risk. I used a random grouping of spices on this. I didn't know if this would hold together. The turkey flavor really comes through. The dressing, the naan bread is just delicious. It's got a little bit of crunch to it, which I really love. So we've got another winner in our hands, folks. I hope you enjoyed this recipe video. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell icon up above. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Mark, and this is the Average Meat Channel.